Hot.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
We're back. We are 5 minutes late, apologies. And there's a slight, this isn't Chris Davis, but slightly different this morning, a slightly different order. Same three people, slightly different order. So we're really happy to invite local artist John Biggs with us.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So,
Love your glasses.
I take a long time just choosing my glasses, yeah.
So John, I know very little about you, so that's why we're here.
Okay.
So introduce yourself to people, please. Who are you?
Me first. John Biggs. I'm currently the president of Poole and East Dorset Art Society, which I'm very proud of being.
So this is the company called PEDAS.
PEDAS, yes.
So people know it's PEDAS.
Name people use is PEDAS, but Poole and East Dorset Art Society is what it stands for.
Poole and East Dorset Art Society.
Yeah.
You got my pen.
Stick with me a little bit. I used to be a planner, a town planner, and I became interested in urban design of the built environment, conservation areas, that sort of thing. And I worked at the Football Council for quite a long time doing that. So I used my art a bit in that, sketching and that sort of thing, sketching ideas.
So what sort of projects are we talking about here? So...
I did a lot of commissioning of public art.
Right.
For instance, there's two things on the quayside. There's the parallel plotter. Do you find it with that one? It's on the quayside by
the Poole.
Poole.
Yeah,
I don't know Poole
very well.
I have to
You don't get a Poole. Poole Key is
it's
fantastic.
Poole Key.
I went once or twice, but only because
they
I
do the bikers thing there, don't they?
They do bikers on Tuesdays, yeah, and they started off doing Thursday evenings on the quay with fireworks afterwards, and that became it was really crowded when it first started.
Yeah.
You
I
could
have
hardly
heard
move.
about it, because we've got students obviously who are from Poole. It's just we tend to stay in Poole.
It's less popular now. I think there are more things on
So
now.
you commission that, you designate that area with the...
We find the area and we advertise the idea to artists in general over the country, and then a few of them come in and we interview them and then decide to appoint one.
Okay.
The important thing about public art is you don't tell the artist anything about what you want.
Okay.
It's what is to represent.
Well, that kind of makes sense in a way.
So you don't say I want a picture of a woman standing up in a corner. You say that they want something to be represented, to say something to everybody, but you don't say what it's going to be. That's the artist's job.
Well,
really,
I don't like
really
it.
important. About
imagine it comes up and it's like,
oh no,
oh, didn't expect that.
Yeah, you hope for the best.
You do hope for the best, but it's all interpretation.
Yeah. So do you have you been in this situation where you commissioned things in the past and then maybe you didn't like it, or do you always have to go with it, or can you say maybe that's not the place we wanted to be, or?
Well, you get to talk to the artist, you get to see what he's done before, or she's done before, and you get to talk to them during the generation of the project, so you get an idea what they're going to come up with. Yeah. But I think it would be really unusual to say, oh, that's terrible.
So this is what you used to do. You don't do it anymore, or?
I don't do it anymore, and I retired in 2007, so it's a long time ago.
And that's when you started the...
No, I joined PEDAS in about 1991, having just come down here from London. So I haven't been doing art very much at all, really. And then I decided I wanted to get into do a bit of art on my own, and joined PEDAS, and that was really good. Haven't looked back from that, really. So go to their sessions. I became one of the committee members and that sort of thing quite early on, and got into sort of helping to run the place. And I enjoy that as much as painting, really. I think. And so
are you primarily a painter now? Or?
I'm a painter. I do sculpture as well. I did a lot of stone sculpture.
Yes, I saw some of your stuff. If you have a look on the website, you'll see some of John's work.
And that's but I don't do it as much now. Well, for one thing, is the stone is very heavy, and I can't carry it so much. And that's the thing. It's much more time-consuming as well. So, but I want to get back to some stonework. Certainly, I do enjoy it. I'm good at it too. This stuff. Some people say you shouldn't do a painting so much. You're much better at sculpture. So maybe I should take their advice.
You will get your your little things, isn't it? Sculpture's lovely though.
I do like sculpture.
I wish I could do it. I don't know if
it's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of hard work, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
And I'm exhibiting at Dorset Art Week, of course. This is coming up starting on the 14th of May. 2 exhibitions. One is for Poole and East Dorset Art Society at the gallery upstairs, which I'll talk about later a bit. And the other one is with Chris and Dot, who are sitting
You'll see them in a minute.
behind the camera there. Who you'll see later. At my house, at venue 96 in Winton. We're called the Winton Banks 3.
Winton Banks 3.
Yeah, I've always thought Winton Banks is such a romantic and atmospheric name. You imagine rivers and lovely green banks.
Yeah,
but the reason it's called that is it was a major crossroads with banks on every corner. Winton Banks.
Really lovely.
Not so romantic at all, really. But there we go. So we're the Winton Banks thing, and we are romantic, aren't we? Yeah.
That's what we are. I'd like that, romance.
So how many, going back to PEDAS a little bit, because I know very little about it, and it's something I keep hearing Chris and Dov talk about it. How many members does PEDAS have? I mean, how big a group is it? How large an area does it cover, for example?
It's called a local art group, so it's called Poole in East Dorset, and I suppose it's Poole, Bournemouth, go as far as Christchurch, perhaps 1 or 2 members are there, maybe up to Ringwood, maybe Wareham, Wimborne. But it's a local art group. We have about between 85 and 115 members. It varies quite a lot.
And you pay to be part of the group? Or
it's going to go up to £35 a year.
Okay.
In January. So
what does that include? Just for people that might want to join?
Yeah. You get to go to the events, which is every week. We have a Wednesday afternoon event at the moment. There is a small charge for that to pay for the venue and everything, but there's the Wednesday afternoons every week, and the first Sunday is at the All Angels Church Hall in Lilliput. The Wednesdays it's at Alderney Manor Community Centre in Herbert Avenue.
So you meet to discuss each other's work, or do you just go to paint or sculpt or whatever? Or?
It changes. It's different every week. Something might be a still life, or it might be a life drawing. It might be someone talking about their art, or it might be an artist describing how they work and how they've developed as an artist.
Okay. So do you have visiting artists as well?
Yeah, visiting artists. We have lecturers in most weeks, usually local artists, and they will demonstrate their work. And they might demonstrate a particular technique, like using textures or using oils. And usually we get to have a go as well. It's not just sitting around listening.
You actually get a go as well.
We take our stuff with us, and after the talk we will have a go as well. Or maybe it might be a completely practical session, like a life drawing session. We have a model and we just go from the beginning and work for 2 hours or so.
Could this be open to people that aren't artists and want to give it a go? Would you allow people to, or is it just private?
Glad you asked that question. That's really important.
Mary asked a good question. I didn't think that bad.
Because Poole and East Dorset Art Society is an inclusive group. We're not selective. People come along. Anyone can come along to our events. Even if you're not a member, you can come along. You pay a little bit more, but you can come along to any of the events.
So you don't have to be a member then.
No, that's really good.
Yeah, that's good.
And our membership grows through that, really. So we don't say you want to be a member. You bring in your portfolio and you'll see how good you are. And if you're
that's a bit daunting, isn't it?
There's none of that. We don't think about that at all. It's all about enthusiasm.
Yeah.
People who come along to our events. Say if you come to sort of 4 or 5 events in a 6-month period, you'll get invited to join.
Right. Okay.
And then on a basis that if your art will improve. This being part of a Poole Dorset Art Society will make your art better.
Yeah.
That's
and also you're doing different techniques and different styles of art, aren't you?
Yeah,
that's really interesting. And that gives everyone a bit of a go, doesn't it? Because you could find that, I know we're painters or something, but we might end up liking something else.
Yeah.
Well, remember how you used to do something else.
Exactly.
I mean, I used to love doing lino cuts.
Lino print.
But I'd love to do it again.
Yeah.
But it's just getting round to the fact that.
Yeah.
That's a really good technique. It's an old technique, but a good technique.
Fantastic stuff. Yeah.
Also, it's the place, isn't it? Because it's quite tricky doing the prints with the lino. You need quite a lot of space. Drying space.
Takes a long time, doesn't it? You have to dig out the bits.
Not only that, my fingers suffered a lot when I was doing it. Ow!
The other thing about being inclusive is when you have exhibitions, when you exhibit at the gallery at least twice a year, any member gets the stuff on the wall.
Okay.
And the only judgment we offer is it well framed, or is it scruffy? Is it dirty? Is it going to fall apart? Is it wonky?
Yeah.
But the actual picture, if you're a member, it gets on the wall.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
So it's £35 a year.
£35. It will be in January. For the next members, we'll pay £35 a year. Yeah.
Well, I think it sounds a really good opportunity.
It does, doesn't it? Anyone out there?
Yes, people.
And the website is PEDAS.org.uk.
Okay.
But you can just put in Poole Needs Dorset Art Society, it'll come up.
Okay. I'll have to look at that. Yeah. And everyone who wants to have a go, have a look.
Do you know what? Sometimes I think it's like when you have like an acronyms like PEDAS, you because it's quite tricky to remember. You sort of think, oh yeah, I'll have to look at that, but then you don't get around to it because what was the name of that again?
Yeah.
Or was that just me being stupid? It could be me being stupid.
It's after the bank holiday, you know.
Because I know Doff and Kristen Doff have mentioned this so many times to me, and I still can't remember it.
The thing is, though, you don't realise things like this are on quite a lot of the time. I know you know you've got your social media and everyone's on there and stuff, but you know to actually talk about something like this, it makes a difference because you think, wow, this is an opportunity, isn't it?
And it's available. You don't have to be an artist to join.
That's it.
And it's available for all age groups too, because I know you said it's Wednesday afternoon, but you also said Sunday as well, so that's accessible to everybody. Yes, isn't it?
And we used to do evenings, but we found after the pandemic that we started evenings again last year, sort of the autumn time. But we had 5 people coming. We can't go on like this. We're losing money because we can't pay for the venue.
How did you find that with COVID then? Obviously, we've all suffered with COVID.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I quite enjoyed it. Doing a lot of time to do painting.
Personally, you enjoyed it. But in terms of the groups
did
and
PEDAS go online? Did it go online?
We did. We had a PEDAS at home on Facebook, and people could post on that, and we set projects to do, and then people would put their stuff on Facebook when they're done.
I bet that was brilliant for people, especially for people that buy themselves.
Exactly. No, it did help a lot of people, I think, to get to keep going with news and events and.
Have you continued to go online since the restrictions have lifted?
It's still there, but people don't use it so much anymore. No, except after a session, say there will be something on PEDAS at home. PEDAS at home, they'll put pictures of what's been done at that session.
Okay.
So, we use Facebook a lot, and we're trying to use it more and more. I mean, we find that's going to be the place to get publicity now. Is on the social media, Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, I know Instagram is very much more the popular art sort of pages now, and it's kind of you know, if I talk to artists and stuff, they go, "Are you on Instagram?" You know, more so than Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Instagram's almost it's stuff I watch.
It's that people watch the reels and stuff like that on there, and a lot of younger artists, or you know, they seem to just go on Instagram a lot more.
Yeah. Trouble is, I look at Instagram, I think, look at all these lovely things coming up. God, that's really good. And that's really good too. What am I doing? It's really there's some fabulous stuff on Instagram, isn't there? Really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of very talented people in the country, I have to say.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Instagram, it's all over the world, isn't it? You're not really segregated to just your Dorset areas and stuff like or wherever. No. You do see talent from everywhere. People then join and stuff, so that's where the connections and stuff. So it's quite good for that.
Yeah, it is. But I think we've had this conversation previously, I think art has actually had a resurgence since the pandemic. I might close that door.
Yeah, I think it has. Yeah.
It's okay, let me just close the door a minute.
Back to PEDAS. The other thing about it, it's really old.
Is it?
Yeah, it's our 100th birthday in 2024.
And what?
100th birthday
Wow.
in 2024, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and
so
it was
who set it
formed
up originally then? Who set it up originally?
Right, it was set up before and just after the First World War. Poole was a popular place for artists. It was a bit of a community.
Okay.
The first one to come out was Augustus John. He was an idol even then.
Yeah.
And then a few people came down because he was here, and Henry Lamb came down here, and he had connections with Vanessa Bell and lots of other groups. So it was a really important place for artists, Poole. But then so was Bournemouth. Then Bournemouth Art Club is 2 years older than us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this area, this coast, was very popular for artists at the beginning of the 20th century. Yeah,
so much history. Well, I mean, not digressing, but we're learning quite a lot about Dorset and what its history is at the minute. And I know it sounds pretty sad, but you just don't realise.
Did you realise Bournemouth had an art club?
No, I didn't know I had Bournemouth Art Club.
Now, Bournemouth Art Club is different from ours. Bournemouth Art Club is still the way ours was. PEDAS, Poole and East Dorset Art Club and Bournemouth Art Club were the same principle. They were art club for established artists to exhibit.
Right.
And then Poole and East Dorset changed.
Okay.
So you've had all these big names, and they first had their exhibition in 1924 in Poole, and had an exhibition every year, 150 paintings each time by big names. You know, not just the Augustus John Henry Lamb, but there were other people doing art there. I think Poole had a reputation because of the Poole pottery, because it was known as an art pottery. So people came down for that, and they did designs for the pottery and this sort of thing. Big names.
They had that. I don't know if they've still got it though. Have they still got their?
It's still going, isn't it?
No, it's gone now.
It's gone, isn't it? I remember you could go in and watch it all done in the glass blowing, which was amazing.
Yeah,
you could watch them all do it at light, you know, when they were blowing up the glass and stuff, and it was a really good attraction, wasn't it? It's a shame, isn't it?
Loss, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
PEDAS was set up, and Bournemouth was set up for professional artists, basically, and then PEDAS diversified.
Well, yes, it carried on right through with big names. I mean, the president in the before the Second World War into the 50s was a man called Sir Gerald Kelly, who was also the president of the Royal Academy for that whole time. So it has a big important history.
Yeah,
big deal.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, should be promoted more.
It should be. I mean, Bournemouth Council, BCP should support more things like this, shouldn't they?
They should.
I think so.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Yeah.
But maybe they just don't know.
They do know about Bournemouth Art Club. I'm sure they were involved with their centenary exhibition last year in Russell Coates. That was really good.
Bournemouth Art Club then is still for professionals or for
not
everybody?
professional, but they do select. They do have a selections process. You have to bring your stuff in and explain what your ambitions are and that sort of thing.
Okay. Oh, that's really interesting.
It is actually.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I knew that, and I don't.
I knew you come from Bournemouth, sort of.
Sort of. Well,
you've been here a long time.
Well, I've gone on and off. I've sort of been around everywhere, love. Been around everywhere.
I've got an excuse. I've only been here 6 years.
I was here from 11 till about 20, and then I left to Australia. And travelled quite a lot around the world, and came back. Lived in Brighton, obviously, and came back.
Here.
Came back here.
Draws you back.
Yeah.
Anyway, what changed with Poole and East Dorset Art Society was it hit a bit of a lull in the 70s, I think it was. Started to lose members. Started to find it difficult to get the same sort of people who they used to have, like Paul Pottery was doing less art, and there were fewer artists living down here, so it couldn't expand. And Bournemouth Art Club was expanding then, I think. So the numbers went down, and then along came John Bowen, who was the head of art at the Poole Bournemouth College, and I think his boss at the college said, "You should become president of the art club and revive it."
Wow.
And he did. He did a really great job, and he used to do sort of portraits in the foyer of the college and attract people in, and people would ask about it, and gradually the membership grew from his art A-level course and that sort of thing. So a lot of people who were his courses, they're still members of PEDAS. They're still important sort of active members of PEDAS now.
Sounds fantastic.
It's
It's a really good story. But they changed the ethos and made it into an inclusive, more open club for people who are interested in art, not just
general artists. Which is really, and I think that's really a good idea as well.
I think so.
Because I think a lot of people like to try something creative, whatever it is, and give it a go.
Absolutely, and that's what we're there for, really.
Potato prints, yeah.
All sorts of things. It's all art.
Get your potatoes ready, love.
How long have you been president for?
Oh, March this year.
Newly elected.
Then AGM, we're very newly elected. Yeah, we John Bowen sadly died in 2020.
Okay.
I mean, it took a couple of years to decide if we could replace him. We can't replace him. No. He's irreplaceable. So much so that we decided we went to a few artists in the area we wanted to be our president and said, "This is what we want you to do for us." And said, oh, that's a lot, I can't do that.
It's a lot of commitment,
And be an artist, so that we didn't get anywhere. So we decided to change our tack. And so we've now made it into 2 posts. We have an artistic patron, who is Helen Talbot, who is a professional artist, a teacher. So she will direct us artistically and set us challenges and this sort of thing. Yeah. And we thought we'd have a president as well, partly just to keep the name, because it's been going so long, but also to be a sort of an ambassador. So do this sort of thing, and meet other groups and get in touch more with the council and that sort of thing, and try and make connections with people.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. I mean, have you thought about doing like little free tasters just to get people sort of interested?
At our sessions, you mean? Free tasters, that's a thought. Okay, I'll put down.
Maybe do an online free taster, because that could be quite interesting to sort of do. And then it might just, and if you branch it out and say, come on, let's do a little bit of that.
That's right.
Because there's a lot
like an open evening or an open day.
There's a lot of people, since the pandemic, there's a lot of people that have discovered their artistic side who maybe didn't even think they were creative before.
And also
they just need encouragement.
And that would give people like, the sort of chance to sort of really get see what it's all about.
We do one of those things. We've been doing it for a long time. It's called Art Pro Loco, which means art in a place.
So like dancing to that one.
Art for a place.
Sorry, I'm just doing a little jig for that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Loco. Sorry. Do you want us to do like a little show?
You can do the cabaret.
Can we do the cabaret? I would love that. All the feathers. It's all about the feathers. Sorry about that.
And sequins. Don't forget the
sequins. Sequins.
That's not a problem.
Oh dear.
It was started by Poole. What's it called? Art Trust or Art Society. It was in a group in the 90s probably, started by the council, to getting artists together to talk about art in the area. It didn't last, it's not there now. But they started Art Pro Loco, and PEDAS took it over. We did one last year at Upton Country Park in the gallery. And what happens is we advertise it as a day to come and do a painting in a place, and this would be Upton Country Park. It might be Paul Klee, it might be Christchurch, but so you come along. We have some paper available and some art materials available. You can bring your own. Yeah. People do. A lot of people bring their own material, and then we stamp it that day of the date. You take the paper away, do a picture, bring it back, and we stick it on the wall in the gallery. That's really nice. For possibly a week sometimes.
It's a really good opportunity, isn't it?
And we get people who've never drawn before. In older people as well as kids, so 5-year-olds, that sort of thing. So we have a category of ages, and there's a prize for the winner. It works really well. We don't get huge numbers, but we get 50 people.
That's a good number still, 50, isn't it?
Yeah. Over 2 days probably, bank holiday, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's
we did one last year. We've got one planned for this year as well.
I
think so. Or maybe next year.
One of the years.
It takes a lot of organising.
We'll have to join it.
Well,
do you reckon you could cope?
Yeah, it's a big area.
That's all right then. You'll be able to hear me all round. That's funny. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
It's the morning, isn't it?
It's been really interesting hearing about PEDAS.
Actually, yeah.
We haven't talked much about the Dorset Art Week, however.
Dorset Art Weeks, yes.
But we can talk to Chris and Doff about that later as well. But,
okay, well, you're going to the study gallery then, shall I? Not the study gallery, the gallery upstairs. The study gallery, that's a story in itself.
Oh!
That's part of the college. Remember the Poole and Bournemouth College in, where is it? Where the town hall is in Poole.
Yeah.
And they had a collection of really good art, started by someone Andrew. It's not important, but he was an art teacher at the college, and he started a collection. He had Henry Moore, Epstein, and some very fine paintings. And sadly, they're not all there anymore. They needed funding for something, and a lot of them were sold off. But but they did build the study gallery, which is that glass cube you can see from the road on the town hall side of the college. It's behind the car park. You can see it stands high, quite high. It's a 3-4-storey building done by Richard Horden, who's died recently. But it was a gallery for about 10 years with funding from the 100 years. What's the turn of the century? What's that called?
Millennium.
The Millennium Fund. Yeah, that's the one. Millennium Fund.
Okay.
And but again, that's also no longer used as a gallery. It was the college wanted it back. They after the 10 years were up, they took it back. But maybe it'll become a gallery again. It's a great space for a gallery.
So we do, don't we? I mean,
we do, yeah.
Sorry, so I used to go to Bournemouth and Poole College in Poole.
Yeah.
So as I go, is it in the actual college then? It's just on the. Is it on the side then? Is it on the?
Yeah. Okay, you come down. You can't do it. It's a roundabout, isn't it? As you're going back out of Poole, you're going up to the lights and go left towards Ashley Cross.
Yeah.
The college is up there on your left.
Yes.
Yeah. And up on the road end of that, up the top of the car park, is a cube glass building. And that's what was called the study gallery, and then became called the Cube.
I think I do, yeah, because I used to go there. I used to go to that college.
Part of the reason I don't go to Poole is the traffic.
Study counselling there.
I get so lost in the one-way systems.
Wow.
We went there a lot. We had a lot. We went there a lot because John Bowen was still there.
Yeah.
And Jem Main, who was another art teacher at the college, he ran the gallery.
Okay.
And we used to have our evening sessions in the gallery sometimes as well, and exhibited there. It was a great loss.
We need more gallery space.
I think we do really, especially around the area.
Yeah, really.
I mean, we've got the giant gallery.
We've got giant gallery now.
Yeah, that's good. I enjoy that. I do enjoy going there. It's great.
It's
It's different, isn't it? It's different. It's what we need, isn't it?
But we need more small ones too.
We do.
Yeah. I mean, you can't rely on the Russell coats because I love the Russell coats.
Russell coats, great. Yeah.
Beautiful. But it's nice to have something different, and it would be nice to open more.
Yeah.
You've got the Hengistbury Head Visitor Centre.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's very small. But it is nice.
Yeah. Well, ours is like that. The gallery upstairs is a bit like that one. It's at the other end of the conurbation. Yeah. It used to be run by the council, by Poole Council. Okay. They ran it in connection with the Cube Gallery and the museum, but they found they couldn't make it work financially. It took too much effort to get things on there. So they asked us to take it over. So we've been looking for. They knew we were looking for a gallery of our own sometimes, so we did, and that was in 2006, and we've been doing it ever since. And that, which means there's something on in that gallery every week, at least 45 weeks of the year, open all day, every day for 45 weeks, and it's in new exhibitions every 2 weeks or so.
Oh, we need to find out. You got a website for that? Is it
that is the gallery upstairs. I think it's another org one, but I'm not sure. Gallery but if you just Google the gallery upstairs Poole, it'll come up. Yeah.
Do you rely on funding for that, or do you rely? You don't.
We don't get any funding. We have a very favourable fee system from the council. They don't charge us rent, and they pay for the power, the lighting, and that sort of thing. But we do all the running for it. We charge. It's going to be £15 a day to hire the gallery. You hire it for 2 weeks.
That's actually really reasonable, though, isn't it?
Good, isn't it?
£15 a day.
And we charge 10%.
We should do an exhibition. Let's get in there.
Hey! This is the point. You can, you see. You can. Yeah. Anyone can go.
Any artist. See, you've done it. Yeah. So come on, guys. That's really cheap.
It is, and there are so many people that I know from looking at the other art groups that are always looking for spaces. They're saying, "Is there anywhere I can rent?" Well, there you are. There's another space.
There's another space.
We're not looking for exhibitors. We're fully booked for a year.
Wow!
But anybody who wants to exhibit their work, look up the gallery upstairs in Poole and
you
get
can
on the list.
And you can get on the list.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
No wonder it gets booked up then, because that's a really reasonable price. Yeah. And do they sell their work there, or?
People do, yeah. It depends. Some people sell very well, and some people don't sell very much. No. But usually they'll.
So it's sellable.
our 10% commission.
That's fair enough.
Gets some money in.
Compared to a lot of them.
It's on trust as well. We don't go and see them and say show us your books. We say we're on 10% commission of all your sales, and that's on trust.
And do you hold like open evenings or open days for that? You know, like a little exhibit, or is it just a matter of?
We don't. I mean, that's the other thing. We don't run it on a day-to-day basis in terms of being there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. It's a non-commercial gallery, so we don't pay anyone to do any work there.
Yeah.
We're all volunteers.
Yeah.
And we don't have people whose art is their main source of income.
Right.
It's got to be a sort of a second thing, sort of second string for them. Not big artists. We don't have. Brewster wouldn't go there. We wouldn't have him. Well, we'd have him.
You would have him if you could.
But we wouldn't be allowed. It wouldn't be in our system.
That's such a good system, and that's such a good little space. It sounds amazing.
So we have
for local artists and
for
for anyone who wants to try and get out there. Really.
And local art clubs. Lots of art clubs have nowhere to exhibit really. There are very few galleries. You ended up in church halls and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But they come along and there's always a line of people waiting to go to do that thing. I think it's every 2 years now art clubs can go. You can't go every year anymore. It's too full.
Every 2 years.
Yeah. So art clubs and single artists sometimes, or groups of artists. Sometimes it's craft work, and sometimes it's photography.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a great opportunity.
It is.
Now it's booked up though.
Anyway, at least know about it.
Occasional, a week that's not. That might have a short notice.
We have cancellations occasionally, and then we struggle to find people to jump in quickly.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to prepare an exhibition in a week, isn't it?
It's quite a lot of work.
Unless you've got a lot of work in the loft.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a lot of work. I don't think it's a loft. It's like sort of in under the bed. Do you know what I mean?
Anyway, we've completely
Have we?
overrun our slots.
Oh no, we've run over. We tend to do this. We're really sorry.
Yeah, it's been lovely talking to you.
Absolutely. And thank you for enlightening us with that.
And everybody else.
And everyone else who's been watching. I mean, wow. We're on it.
Thank you for the opportunities.
No, it's amazing.
Really good.
We'll be
I
back.
never knew.
I know. Well, now you know.
Well, I do. Thank
We'll
you.
be back in a minute. We're just going to have a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with our next guest. Okay?
Take care.
Bye.
See you in a minute.
Thank you.